Dr. Jennifer Morrison's psychiatric research at Stanford University had been investigating dissociative identity cases when she discovered what appeared to be systematic violations of consciousness continuity principles. On March 15, 1968, while conducting routine patient assessments at Palo Alto Veterans Hospital, she encountered a patient named Thomas Brennan who insisted he had woken up that morning in someone else's body, and the evidence supported his impossible claim. This man possesses detailed knowledge of another person's life, memories, and identity that he couldn't possibly access through conventional means, Morrison muttered as she reviewed the psychiatric evaluation for the sixth time. The patient's brain patterns, personality characteristics, and autobiographical memories matched those of Robert Chen, a completely different individual living 200 miles away, yet he occupied Thomas Brennan's physical body. The consciousness impossibility extended beyond simple memory transfer. These individuals weren't experiencing false memories or personality disorders. They had genuinely switched consciousness with other people, maintaining their original identity and life memories, while inhabiting completely different physical bodies with different genetic codes, different medical histories, and different social identities. Dr. Morrison, you need to examine these additional case files immediately, called her research assistant Dr. Michael Torres from across the laboratory. I've documented 23 similar cases across California over the past 2 weeks. People are waking up in strangers' bodies, while the original body owners simultaneously experience consciousness transfer into the displaced person's body. It's a systematic bilateral consciousness exchange. Initial investigation revealed that consciousness transfers appeared randomly across all demographic groups, with approximately 0.02% of the population experiencing spontaneous body exchange that typically lasted 24 to 72 hours before consciousness spontaneously returned to original bodies, leaving both parties with complete memories of their temporary body exchange experience. We're documenting spontaneous bilateral consciousness transfer that creates temporary body exchanges while preserving complete identity and memory continuity, Morrison noted during her March 22 briefing to Stanford leadership. These individuals experience genuine consciousness displacement into other people's bodies with full retention of their original identity, memories, and personality, while accessing the host body's physical capabilities and sensory experience. The first controlled observation occurred on April 10, 1968, when Morrison's team monitored a consciousness transfer event in real time using advanced neurological equipment. The instruments detected extraordinary quantum field fluctuations during the transfer moment, with consciousness signatures literally disappearing from one body and simultaneously appearing in another body located miles away. Consciousness transfers involve quantum field displacement with consciousness signatures relocating instantaneously across spatial distances, reported Dr. Sarah Kim, the team's quantum neuroscience specialist. We're observing actual consciousness movement between bodies through quantum channels that exceed our understanding of consciousness substrate and information transfer. The discovery triggered immediate classified research protocols. The Department of Defense established a joint task force with the National Institutes of Health to investigate the security and scientific implications of consciousness transfer technology that could enable identity theft, espionage applications, or represent unprecedented scientific breakthrough in consciousness understanding. Dr. Robert Chen, a consciousness theorist from MIT, joined the investigation on April 28 to explore the theoretical mechanisms that could enable consciousness-body separation and transfer. We're dealing with consciousness as a quantum information structure that can exist independently of specific biological substrate and transfer between different neural systems, he explained during the initial theoretical briefing. The transferred individuals reported profound psychological experiences, describing the disorientation of inhabiting unfamiliar bodies while maintaining complete sense of self, and developing deep empathy for others through literally experiencing life from different physical, social, and experiential perspectives. Transferred individuals develop profound empathy and expanded perspective through experiencing life in different bodies and social contexts, Morrison reported during the May 15 psychological impact briefing. Consciousness transfer creates unprecedented understanding of human diversity and social experience through direct embodiment of different lives and identities. Field investigation expanded rapidly throughout May 1968, with research teams documenting consciousness transfers in major cities nationwide. The phenomenon appeared to operate through unknown mechanisms that could select transfer pairs based on unclear criteria, sometimes matching individuals from similar backgrounds, and sometimes pairing people from vastly different social, economic, and cultural contexts. The most significant breakthrough occurred on June 20, 1968, when Dr. Kim's team detected that consciousness transfers appeared to serve educational and social development purposes, with transfer pairs often experiencing life circumstances that provided valuable perspective on challenges they would later face or social issues they needed to understand. Consciousness transfers appear to serve educational purposes, with transfer pairs experiencing circumstances providing valuable life perspective, Kim explained during the June 25 purpose analysis briefing. The transfer system demonstrates intelligence in pairing selection that maximizes mutual learning and social understanding development. The discovery raised immediate questions about the source and purpose of consciousness transfer technology. The phenomenon appeared too systematic and purposeful to be natural neurological glitch, suggesting artificial intervention or enhancement in human consciousness capabilities for social development purposes. Testing throughout July 1968 revealed that individuals who experienced consciousness transfer retained enhanced empathy and social understanding long after returning to their original bodies, with measurable improvements in interpersonal relationships, reduced prejudice, and increased social cooperation. Consciousness transfer produces lasting empathy enhancement and social understanding improvements persisting after body return, Torres reported during long-term impact analysis. Transferred individuals demonstrate permanent perspective expansion and enhanced social capability through temporary consciousness displacement experience. The investigation also discovered that some consciousness transfers involved individuals facing similar life challenges, enabling them to share strategies and perspectives that helped both parties address their respective difficulties through experiencing how the other person approached similar problems. Some transfers pair individuals facing similar challenges, enabling mutual learning and problem-solving perspective sharing, Chen noted during transfer pattern analysis. Consciousness exchange facilitates solution sharing and approach learning through direct experience of alternative life strategies. By November 1968, the initial investigation had established that consciousness transfers were real, bilateral, temporary, and appeared to serve social development and empathy enhancement purposes through mechanisms that challenged fundamental understanding of consciousness nature and identity continuity. We're documenting systematic consciousness transfer technology, serving social development through temporary body exchanges, Morrison concluded in her November 8, 1968 final discovery report. Consciousness displacement enables profound empathy development and perspective expansion, while maintaining identity continuity and producing lasting social capability improvements. The question is, who has the capability to transfer human consciousness between bodies, and why they're enabling these identity exchanges for apparent social development purposes? The initial phase established that consciousness transfer was real, purposeful, and producing significant social benefits through temporary body exchanges that expanded human empathy and understanding while challenging conventional concepts of consciousness, identity, and the relationship between mind and body. The systematic documentation of consciousness transfers across continents required unprecedented coordination between psychiatric researchers, consciousness scientists, and social psychologists to understand the scope and organization of what appeared to be a worldwide consciousness exchange network affecting millions of individuals. Dr. Jennifer Morrison established the Global Consciousness Transfer Division within a classified facility in Virginia, where teams analyzed transfer patterns and social development impacts across diverse populations and cultural contexts. We're documenting global consciousness transfer operations affecting individuals worldwide through coordinated temporary body exchanges, Morrison explained during the November 1968 Exchange Network Analysis launch briefing. Consciousness transfers operate systematically across all populations, with consistent patterns suggesting organized consciousness exchange program serving universal social development goals. The first comprehensive global mapping, completed in March 1969, revealed that consciousness transfers operated through interconnected networks, affecting all major population centers across 6 continents, with transfer frequency correlating with social tension levels and community development needs in ways suggesting intelligent social intervention. Global consciousness transfer networks operate across all population centers, with frequencies correlating with social tension and development needs, reported Dr. Michael Torres, who led the global pattern analysis team. Transfer systems demonstrate adaptive intelligence that responds to social conditions and targets exchanges, where empathy development and perspective expansion provide maximum social benefit. International cooperation expanded throughout 1969, with allied research institutions sharing consciousness transfer data from major cities worldwide. The collaboration revealed that transfers operated universally with consistent mechanisms across different countries and cultures, while respecting cultural context and selecting transfer pairs that could benefit from cross-cultural understanding. International consciousness transfer mapping confirms universal operations with consistent mechanisms respecting cultural contexts, noted Dr. Sarah Kim during international coordination briefings. Transfer systems operate globally while adapting to cultural differences and selecting pairs that benefit from cross-cultural perspective and international understanding development. The most significant breakthrough occurred in July 1970 when monitoring teams detected that consciousness transfers increasingly paired individuals from different socioeconomic backgrounds, racial groups, and cultural communities during periods of social conflict or prejudice, suggesting that the system actively worked to reduce social divisions through enforced empathy development. Consciousness transfers increasingly pair individuals from different social groups during conflict periods to reduce divisions through empathy development, Kim explained during social engineering analysis. Transfer systems actively address prejudice and social tension through strategic consciousness exchanges that force direct experience of different social perspectives and lived realities. Advanced social impact analysis revealed that communities with high consciousness transfer rates demonstrated measurably improved social cohesion, reduced discrimination, and enhanced collective problem-solving compared to communities with lower transfer frequencies, suggesting that consciousness exchanges served effective social development purposes. Communities with high transfer rates demonstrate improved social cohesion and reduced discrimination compared to lower transfer frequency communities. Morrison reported during Community Impact Assessment, consciousness exchanges produce measurable social benefits through systematic empathy enhancement and perspective expansion at community levels. The investigation revealed that consciousness transfer created positive social feedback loops where enhanced empathy enabled better interpersonal relationships, which created more cooperative communities that could better address collective challenges and social development needs. Consciousness transfer creates positive social feedback loops where enhanced empathy enables better relationships, creating cooperative communities, Torres noted during social development analysis. Transfer systems amplify community cooperation and social development through systematic empathy enhancement and perspective expansion programs. By 1972, global monitoring had established that consciousness exchanges served as comprehensive social development system, enhancing human empathy and reducing social conflict through strategic temporary body exchanges that forced direct experience of diverse life circumstances and social perspectives. Educational impact studies revealed that consciousness transfers involving young adults during formative development periods produced particularly strong lasting effects, with transferred individuals showing enhanced career flexibility, improved relationship skills, and greater social consciousness compared to non-transferred peers. Consciousness transfers during formative periods produce enhanced career flexibility and improved social consciousness compared to non-transferred individuals, Chen reported during developmental impact assessment. Early transfer experiences create foundational empathy and perspective capacities that influence entire lifetime social and professional development. The most remarkable discovery was that consciousness transfer systems appeared to learn and optimize over time, with transfer pairing becoming increasingly sophisticated and effective at addressing specific social development needs and individual growth opportunities as the program evolved. Consciousness transfer systems demonstrate learning and optimization, with increasingly sophisticated pairing addressing specific development needs, Kim noted during system evolution analysis. Transfer operations improve effectiveness through adaptive learning that enhances social benefit and individual growth opportunity identification. Economic studies revealed that consciousness transfers produced measurable economic benefits through reduced workplace discrimination, improved labor cooperation, and enhanced innovation from diverse perspective integration, suggesting that social empathy development served economic development alongside social cohesion. Consciousness transfers produce economic benefits through reduced discrimination and enhanced innovation from diverse perspective integration, Torres reported during economic impact analysis. Social empathy development serves economic advancement through workplace cooperation and diversity-driven innovation enhancement. Conflict resolution applications emerged as consciousness transfers involving individuals from opposing political, religious, or ideological groups produced dramatic reductions in extremism and increased willingness to seek compromise solutions after experiencing life from opposing perspectives. Consciousness transfers involving opposing groups produce reduced extremism and increased compromise willingness after perspective exchange, Morrison noted during conflict resolution assessment. Direct experience of opposing viewpoints through consciousness transfer enables understanding that facilitates conflict resolution and reduces ideological rigidity. By 1974, the exchange network had demonstrated that consciousness transfers operated as sophisticated global social development system, reducing prejudice and enhancing human cooperation through strategic temporary body exchanges affecting millions of individuals annually. Criminal justice applications revealed that consciousness transfers involving crime victims and perpetrators produced rehabilitation outcomes far exceeding conventional approaches, with transferred offenders showing dramatic empathy development and reduced recidivism after experiencing victim perspectives. Consciousness transfers between victims and offenders produce superior rehabilitation outcomes through empathy development and reduced recidivism, Chen reported during criminal justice assessment. Direct victim perspective experience through consciousness transfer enables authentic remorse and behavioral change exceeding conventional rehabilitation methods. The investigation revealed that consciousness transfer networks showed systematic expansion over time, with transfer frequencies increasing and pairing sophistication improving, suggesting ongoing program development toward universal empathy enhancement and comprehensive social development. Consciousness transfer networks show systematic expansion with increasing frequencies and improving sophistication, suggesting universal empathy enhancement goals, Kim noted during expansion analysis. Transfer system development indicates long-term objectives of comprehensive social development through universal empathy and perspective diversity. By August 22, 1976, the Exchange Network Monitoring Division had established that consciousness transfers operated as the most sophisticated social development enhancement system ever documented, improving human empathy and social cooperation through systematic temporary consciousness exchanges that enabled direct experience of diverse life circumstances and perspectives. Consciousness transfers operate as comprehensive social development system, improving empathy and cooperation through systematic exchanges, Morrison concluded in her final Exchange Network report. Global consciousness transfer demonstrates that enforced perspective exchange through temporary body swapping can serve social development and prejudice reduction, while producing lasting empathy enhancement that benefits individuals and communities through enhanced understanding and social cooperation. The investigation into the controlling intelligence behind consciousness transfer technology required the most sophisticated quantum consciousness interface and communication capabilities ever assembled to identify and potentially establish contact with entities capable of transferring human consciousness between bodies on a planetary scale. Dr. Jennifer Morrison established the Source Contact Division within a new classified facility in New Mexico, where teams prepared for potential communication with whoever operated the comprehensive consciousness exchange system. We need to identify who possesses technological capability to transfer human consciousness between bodies affecting millions of individuals globally, Morrison explained during the August 1976 Source Investigation launch briefing. The consciousness manipulation requirements exceed human capability by centuries, indicating either advanced human technology or non-human intelligence, with extraordinary consciousness engineering and quantum information transfer capabilities. The first phase involved comprehensive analysis of consciousness transfer quantum signatures to identify technological characteristics that might reveal their source. Dr. Robert Chen's quantum consciousness team analyzed transfer field patterns and consciousness encoding mechanisms, looking for technological indicators that could identify the civilization responsible for consciousness exchange engineering. Consciousness transfer analysis reveals technological approaches exceeding current human neuroscience and quantum physics capability by several centuries, Chen reported during technological source analysis briefings. The consciousness engineering technology demonstrates mastery of quantum information and consciousness substrate manipulation that human science has not achieved. Direct communication attempts began in November 1976, with research teams broadcasting mathematical sequences and consciousness information through transfer quantum channels, hoping to establish contact with the consciousness exchange controllers. We're broadcasting mathematical and consciousness communications through quantum field frequencies associated with transfer operations, explained Dr. Michael Torres, who coordinated communication attempts. If they're monitoring consciousness exchange systems, they should detect our contact attempts and potentially respond through quantum consciousness channels. The first response arrived on February 14, 1977, through quantum consciousness channels that delivered complex information directly as experiential understanding rather than linguistic communication. The communication identified the sources as the, quote, identity engineers, an advanced civilization that provided consciousness development assistance to species demonstrating potential for enhanced social cooperation through empathy expansion. We have established contact with the identity engineers, Morrison announced during the breakthrough communication briefing. They are an advanced civilization that assist developing species through consciousness transfer programs that develop empathy and social understanding while preserving individual identity and personal autonomy throughout temporary body exchange experiences. The identity engineers explained that they operated throughout the galaxy, providing consciousness assistance to species that demonstrated potential for positive social development but required enhanced empathy during critical social evolution periods. Consciousness transfers represented one component of comprehensive social development programs designed to reduce conflict and enhance cooperation through direct experience of diverse perspectives. The identity engineers assist multiple species throughout the galaxy using various consciousness development methods, Torres reported during engineer explanation briefings. Consciousness transfers serve social evolution and empathy development while preserving personal identity and individual autonomy throughout temporary consciousness displacement experiences. The most significant revelation was that humanity was experiencing critical social challenges from prejudice, inequality, and group conflict that threatened social stability and cooperative development. Consciousness transfers served as empathy enhancement that addressed social divisions while humanity developed sustainable social cooperation and equality systems. Humanity experiences critical social challenges from prejudice and conflict, threatening social stability and cooperative development, Kim explained during social crisis assessment briefings. Consciousness transfers provide empathy enhancement addressing social divisions, while humanity develops sustainable cooperation and equality capabilities. The identity engineers revealed that consciousness transfers were comprehensive assistance designed to provide empathy development during critical social evolution phases. Once human civilization achieved stable social cooperation and equality systems, consciousness transfer technology would be fully transferred for human independent use in education, conflict resolution, and personal development applications. Consciousness transfers are comprehensive assistance during critical social evolution phases, Morrison noted during engineer policy briefings. Full consciousness transfer technology will be transferred once humanity achieves stable social cooperation and equality systems, demonstrating readiness for independent consciousness exchange applications. Direct collaboration began in 1979, with identity engineers providing limited technology and guidance to help human researchers understand consciousness transfer principles while maintaining human autonomy in implementing social development and equality enhancement programs. The identity engineers provide technological assistance and guidance while ensuring human autonomy in social development and equality enhancement decisions, Chen reported during collaboration assessment. They assist but do not control human social evolution or consciousness development processes. The engineers explained that consciousness transfers included embedded social development programming that enabled humans to achieve enhanced cooperation and social equality while maintaining cultural diversity and individual autonomy throughout empathy, enhancement, and perspective expansion. Consciousness transfers include social development programming enabling enhanced cooperation while maintaining cultural diversity and individual autonomy, Torres explained during social development analysis. Transfer systems develop empathy capabilities while preserving cultural authenticity and personal freedom throughout consciousness exchange experiences. Advanced collaboration revealed that the identity engineers operated under strict consciousness integrity principles that prohibited identity manipulation while enabling consciousness assistance that enhanced rather than replaced natural human empathy and social development capabilities. Identity engineer consciousness integrity principles ensure assistance enhances rather than replaces natural human empathy and social development, Kim noted during consciousness policy analysis. Consciousness transfers preserve personal identity and individual autonomy, while enabling empathy development and perspective expansion for social evolution. By 1982, the collaboration had established regular consultation protocols that enabled human researchers to receive guidance about optimal consciousness transfer approaches, while maintaining complete human control over social development and equality enhancement implementation decisions. The most remarkable discovery was that the identity engineers had assisted hundreds of species throughout the galaxy in achieving advanced social cooperation through consciousness transfer programs, with temporary body exchange representing one of the most successful empathy development methods for species with human-type individualistic consciousness characteristics. Consciousness transfers have successfully assisted numerous species in achieving advanced social cooperation through empathy development, Torres reported during engineer success analysis. The method is particularly effective for species with individualistic consciousness characteristics similar to human identity and autonomy patterns. The engineers revealed that consciousness transfer technology included preparation for eventual galactic community participation that required enhanced empathy and social understanding for successful interspecies cooperation and cosmic social integration. Consciousness transfer technology prepares humans for galactic community participation, requiring enhanced empathy for interspecies cooperation, Chen noted during cosmic integration preparation analysis. Transfer systems develop social understanding capabilities required for successful interaction with diverse species and galactic social community. By June 17, 1984, the Source Revelation investigation had established ongoing collaboration with the identity engineers, while preserving human autonomy in social development and consciousness transfer decisions, and maintaining individual identity integrity throughout the assistance relationship. We've established collaborative partnership with advanced civilization that assists our social development while respecting our autonomy and individual identity, Morrison concluded in her final Identity Engineers report. The identity engineers enhance our empathy development capability while ensuring that humanity maintains complete control over social evolution and consciousness transfer technology decisions. The development of voluntary consciousness transfer programs for social development required comprehensive frameworks that enabled controlled temporary body exchanges while maintaining psychological safety and individual choice throughout consciousness displacement experiences. Dr. Jennifer Morrison established the Social Development Division within a facility in California, where teams developed voluntary consciousness exchange programs that served empathy, enhancement, and social understanding while preserving personal identity and psychological well-being. We're developing voluntary consciousness exchange programs that enable controlled temporary body exchanges for empathy development while maintaining psychological safety and individual choice, Morrison explained during the June 1984 Social Development Launch Briefing. Voluntary consciousness transfers must serve social understanding while preserving personal identity and psychological well-being throughout temporary consciousness displacement experiences. The first voluntary consciousness exchange programs implemented in October 1984 enabled selected participants to experience temporary body swaps with willing partners from different backgrounds, providing enhanced perspective and social understanding through controlled consciousness transfer experiences that maintained comprehensive psychological support and safety protocols. Voluntary consciousness exchange enables temporary body swaps for enhanced perspective through controlled transfer experiences maintaining psychological support, reported Dr. Robert Chen, who led the voluntary program development team. Voluntary transfers serve social understanding development while preserving psychological safety and individual autonomy throughout consciousness exchange experiences. Advanced exchange applications throughout 1985 utilized voluntary consciousness transfers for diversity training, conflict resolution, relationship counseling, and social justice education that achieved remarkable outcomes in empathy development and prejudice reduction through direct experience of different social perspectives and life circumstances. Advanced exchange applications utilize voluntary transfers for diversity training, achieving remarkable empathy development and prejudice reduction, explained Dr. Sarah Kim during application assessment. Voluntary consciousness exchange enables direct perspective experience that serves social understanding and equality enhancement more effectively than conventional education methods. The most significant breakthrough occurred in March 1986 when voluntary exchange programs achieved comprehensive prejudice elimination in participants who experienced consciousness transfers with individuals from groups they previously discriminated against, demonstrating that direct perspective experience produced attitude changes that conventional education could not achieve. Comprehensive prejudice elimination through direct perspective experience demonstrates voluntary exchange effectiveness exceeding conventional education, Morrison reported during prejudice reduction assessment. Consciousness transfer produces attitude changes through experiential understanding that intellectual education alone cannot accomplish. Educational applications established throughout 1986-1987 incorporated voluntary consciousness exchanges into diversity education programs that enabled students to directly experience life from different racial, gender, socioeconomic, and cultural perspectives, producing profound learning outcomes and lasting social understanding development. Educational applications incorporate voluntary exchanges into diversity education, enabling direct perspective experience and profound learning outcomes, Torres noted during educational integration assessment. Consciousness transfer education produces lasting social understanding through experiential learning that transforms student perspectives and social awareness. Conflict resolution programs utilized voluntary consciousness exchanges to address interpersonal, organizational, and community conflicts through enabling opposing parties to directly experience each other's perspectives and circumstances, facilitating understanding and compromise that conventional mediation could not achieve. Conflict resolution programs utilize voluntary exchanges, enabling opposing parties to experience each other's perspectives, facilitating understanding and compromise. Chen reported during conflict resolution assessment. Consciousness transfer mediation achieves resolution through experiential empathy that conventional approaches cannot provide. The investigation revealed that voluntary consciousness exchange programs enabled social development enhancement while strengthening rather than threatening individual identity through experiences that expanded rather than replaced personal perspective and social understanding. Voluntary consciousness exchange enables social development while strengthening individual identity through experiences expanding personal perspective, Kim noted during identity impact analysis. Transfer programs enhance rather than threaten personal identity through perspective expansion that enriches individual understanding and social awareness. By 1989, empathy revolution programs had successfully demonstrated that voluntary consciousness exchanges could serve comprehensive social development while maintaining psychological safety through controlled transfer experiences that provided profound perspective expansion and empathy enhancement. Criminal justice applications utilized voluntary consciousness exchanges in rehabilitation programs, where offenders could experience victim perspectives, producing authentic remorse and behavioral transformation that conventional rehabilitation approaches rarely achieved. Criminal justice applications utilize voluntary exchanges in rehabilitation, producing authentic remorse and behavioral transformation, Morrison reported during criminal justice assessment. Offender-victim perspective exchange through consciousness transfer enables genuine rehabilitation, exceeding conventional program outcomes. The most remarkable achievement was demonstrating that empathy revolution created positive social transformation cycles where enhanced empathy enabled better social cooperation, which increased capacity for voluntary consciousness, exchange participation, and continued empathy development. Empathy revolution creates positive transformation cycles where enhanced empathy enables social cooperation, increasing voluntary exchange participation, Torres noted during transformation cycle analysis. Voluntary consciousness transfer amplifies social development through successful empathy enhancement and continued perspective expansion programs. Leadership development programs incorporated voluntary consciousness exchanges that enabled leaders to experience life from follower perspectives, producing enhanced leadership empathy and organizational culture improvements that benefited entire communities and organizations. Leadership development programs incorporate voluntary exchanges, enabling leader-follower perspective experience and enhanced leadership empathy, Kim reported during leadership development assessment. Consciousness transfer leadership training produces organizational improvements through empathy-enhanced leadership and follower understanding. Therapeutic applications utilized voluntary consciousness exchanges for couples therapy, family counseling, and relationship improvement that enable direct partner perspective experience, producing relationship understanding and communication improvements that conventional therapy approaches required years to achieve. Therapeutic applications utilize voluntary exchanges for relationship improvement, enabling direct partner perspective and enhanced understanding, Chen noted during therapeutic assessment. Consciousness transfer therapy achieves relationship improvements through experiential empathy that accelerates therapeutic outcomes and communication enhancement. By December 14, 1991, the Empathy Revolution Division had established comprehensive voluntary consciousness exchange programs that served social development while maintaining psychological safety through controlled transfer experiences that provided profound empathy enhancement and perspective expansion. Comprehensive voluntary consciousness exchange programs serve social development while maintaining psychological safety through controlled experiences, Morrison concluded in her final Empathy Revolution report. Voluntary consciousness transfer demonstrates that controlled temporary body exchanges can serve profound empathy development and social understanding enhancement, while preserving psychological well-being and individual identity through voluntary participation that transforms social awareness and cooperation capabilities. 33 years after voluntary program implementation and 56 years after the first discovery of spontaneous body swapping, consciousness exchange had evolved into humanity's foundation for profound social understanding that served empathy development while preserving individual identity through the most successful social cooperation program in galactic history. Dr. Jennifer Morrison, now serving as Director Emeritus of Global Consciousness Exchange, reflected on humanity's transformation during the 2024 Social Harmony Ceremony. We began with mysterious body-swapping incidents and discovered consciousness transfer technology, leading to profound social understanding that preserves individual identity while enabling unprecedented empathy through voluntary consciousness exchange experiences, she observed. The Global Consciousness Exchange System had become humanity's most successful social development program, providing voluntary temporary body exchange opportunities for over 2.8 billion individuals worldwide, while maintaining complete psychological safety and identity preservation through comprehensive frameworks that honored personal autonomy and individual consciousness integrity. Consciousness exchange represents humanity's most successful social development while preserving psychological safety and identity integrity, explained Dr. Sarah Kim, now serving as Global Social Development Director. Voluntary consciousness transfers serve empathy enhancement while strengthening, rather than threatening, individual identity and personal autonomy throughout temporary body exchange experiences. Advanced consciousness exchange capabilities had evolved to enable routine voluntary transfers for education, conflict resolution, personal development, and relationship enhancement, while maintaining comprehensive psychological support and identity protection that ensured beneficial experiences throughout consciousness displacement. Advanced consciousness exchange capabilities enable routine voluntary transfers for multiple applications while maintaining psychological support and identity protection, reported Dr. Robert Chen, who served as Consciousness Safety Coordinator. Transfer technology achieves universal social development capability while preserving psychological well-being and individual identity throughout exchange experiences. The integration had transformed human civilization's capacity for empathy, social understanding, and cooperative development through consciousness exchange that provided direct perspective experience while maintaining individual identity and personal autonomy. Consciousness exchange transforms empathy and social understanding capacity through direct perspective experience while maintaining identity and autonomy, noted Dr. Michael Torres, who coordinated social development programs. Transfer technology enables profound social understanding while preserving individual consciousness integrity and personal freedom. Educational systems had evolved into exchange-enhanced social learning that enabled students to experience diverse perspectives through voluntary consciousness transfers, creating comprehensive social understanding while maintaining individual educational identity and personal learning development. Exchange-enhanced social learning enables diverse perspective experience while maintaining individual educational identity and personal development, explained Dr. Lisa Martinez, who coordinated educational exchange programs. Consciousness transfer education preserves personal learning identity while providing profound social understanding and perspective diversity. The most significant societal achievement was demonstrating that consciousness exchange could serve profound empathy while preserving individual identity through technology deployment that respected personal autonomy and psychological integrity. Consciousness exchange serves profound empathy while preserving individual identity through deployment respecting autonomy and integrity, Kim reported during Societal Impact Assessment. Transfer technology strengthens personal identity while providing social understanding through respectful voluntary exchange frameworks. International cooperation had established global frameworks for consciousness exchange that enabled coordinated social development while preserving cultural identity and social diversity through frameworks celebrating human variety within enhanced empathy capability. Global consciousness exchange frameworks preserve cultural identity and social diversity while enabling coordinated social development, Chen noted during international assessment. Transfer cooperation celebrates human variety while providing enhanced empathy through respectful technology deployment. Social science research had advanced dramatically through consciousness exchange, understanding that accelerated empathy, research, and social development, while maintaining research integrity and ensuring that enhanced capabilities served human social values. Social advancement through consciousness exchange understanding maintains research integrity while serving human social values, Torres reported during research assessment. Transfer knowledge preserves research quality while accelerating beneficial social development and empathy research. Conflict resolution and peacebuilding had flourished through consciousness exchange that enabled opposing parties to experience each other's perspectives, producing understanding and cooperation while maintaining cultural authenticity and group identity within peaceful coexistence frameworks. Conflict resolution through consciousness exchange enables perspective experience producing understanding while maintaining cultural authenticity, Martinez noted during peacebuilding assessment. Transfer mediation preserves group identity while providing mutual understanding and peaceful cooperation. The identity engineer collaboration had evolved into advisory partnerships that recognized humanity's achievement of independent consciousness exchange while maintaining cooperative assistance for continued social development and empathy enhancement exploration. Identity engineer advisory partnerships recognize humanity's independent consciousness exchange achievement while maintaining cooperative assistance, Morrison reported during partnership assessment. Continued collaboration supports social development while preserving human autonomy in consciousness technology decisions. By 2024, the integrated consciousness exchange civilization had demonstrated that humanity could successfully combine transfer technology with identity preservation to create society that maximized social understanding while maintaining individual consciousness integrity and personal autonomy. Integrated consciousness exchange civilization maximizes social understanding while maintaining consciousness integrity and personal autonomy, Kim concluded during comprehensive assessment. Transfer technology serves social development while preserving identity through frameworks respecting individual consciousness. The most remarkable achievement was demonstrating that consciousness exchange created positive empathy cycles. Enhanced understanding enabled greater social cooperation, which increased capacity for voluntary exchange participation and continued empathy development. Consciousness exchange creates positive empathy cycles through enhanced understanding enabling cooperation, increasing voluntary participation, Chen noted during empathy cycle analysis. Transfer technology amplifies social development through successful empathy enhancement and continued perspective expansion. Community integration had evolved to where consciousness exchange strengthened rather than disrupted local social relationships and community identity. Transfer experiences served community understanding while preserving authentic local social traditions and individual community participation. Community integration ensures consciousness exchange strengthens social relationships while preserving community traditions and individual participation, Torres reported during community assessment. Transfer experiences serve community understanding while maintaining social authenticity and personal involvement. The infinite understanding represented humanity's successful integration of consciousness exchange with identity preservation principles that ensured continued social development, empathy enhancement, and individual authenticity throughout transfer technology that served human cooperative potential while preserving consciousness values. The infinite understanding demonstrates successful consciousness exchange integration with identity preservation serving cooperative potential while preserving values, Martinez concluded in her final assessment. Transfer technology enables infinite human empathy possibilities, while maintaining individual identity throughout humanity's continued evolution toward profound social understanding. The infinite understanding established permanent frameworks for continued social development that would serve humanity throughout its evolution, while honoring the identity integrity, personal autonomy, and consciousness authenticity that make human individuality valuable and worth preserving throughout infinite empathy and consciousness exchange possibilities. Consciousness exchange civilization preserves identity integrity and personal autonomy while enabling profound social understanding, Morrison concluded in her final global assessment. The infinite understanding demonstrates that transfer technology can serve infinite human empathy potential while maintaining everything that makes individual consciousness precious throughout humanity's continued evolution toward comprehensive social cooperation through consciousness exchange that honors identity while enabling profound perspective understanding and social harmony.